Hello everybody and welcome back to the new VR news. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your one channel for everything VR related. Today, we're diving into Speculation Nation as we discuss the next Oculus Quest, a new Valve Index, and even the PlayStation VR 2. We'll also go over some new games, some updates from Steam VR, Horizon's Workrooms, and Facebook Connect. So let's not waste any more time and jump right into this video with a little bit of bad news. The upcoming survival title Green Hell has been delayed until the first quarter of 2022, so if you have this game on your wish list, it looks like you're gonna have to wait a bit longer. It's not all bad news though, because the developers have confirmed that there will be a co-op mode. Now co-op will not be cross-platform, so you can't play with your flat screen friends, but this is still some great news. While we're on the topic of great news, I Expect You to Die 2 releases tomorrow. I will have coverage of this game on my channel at release. If you're a fan of the original I Expect You to Die, you're definitely going to want to check this one out. And if you never played the original, it's a classic, you really should. So come back to the channel tomorrow for that review, and it will be the first of my new review format. It's about 3 minutes discussing the game, giving it a review score, recommending a target audience for the title, followed by a few minutes of gameplay. And I'd love to hear what you guys think of that format down in the comments. Okay, so next up in the game news, we have Endo, a surreal and at times nearly psychedelic exploration adventure title. So travel throughout this beautifully handcrafted world, interacting with the environment, and watching it react in unexpected ways. Endo is releasing on Steam August 30th, and if you're not sure this game is right for you, there's a free demo available for you to check it out. But I understand if Endo is too calm for you, because sometimes you just want to get drunk and start a fight. Well, lucky for us, Drunken Bar Fight now has a new level. That's right, we've left the bar, and now we're taking the violence straight to the police station. So you could go ahead and jump into a 4-person online multiplayer session and start a riot against the cops. The developers have also included some general bug fixes and stability patches with this update, so if you just want to go ahead and act like an idiot in VR and have a good time, consider throwing this game on. Now if you were looking for something with much better graphics and actually has a challenge, good news, because Myst is finally coming to PSVR. Technically, this is also a flat screen release, but I don't think anyone's watching this channel for information on flat screen games. Myst is going to bring you to some truly beautiful surreal locations and offer up some challenging puzzles, which are all wrapped into a broader storyline. So if you're a fan of puzzle titles, this is a great week for you, as the PSVR version of Myst is releasing August 26th. Okay, so our last game story is a preview trailer for a title that's coming in the distant future. Do you guys remember Pokemon Snap? Well, here we have Jurassic Snap. Travel through a colorful, dinosaur-filled world, and do what it takes to capture the best picture. Now, the Steam store page for this game says the title isn't coming till December of 2023. That could be a temporary placeholder, but we do know this game is early in development, and in fact, they're starting a Kickstarter in the near future. I will have a link to that down in the description if you want to support this game. Okay, so we just have a few more quick stories before we jump into today's main topic. For starters, we have a nice little update for Steam VR, which gives you more control over placing windows in your play space. Previously, I would use OVR Toolkit. The software is definitely more robust than what Steam VR offers, but I had occasional glitches with it, and the built-in desktop viewing solution Steam VR has now is all I basically need. So now, instead of just being able to dock screens to your hand, you can actually place them in specific areas of your play space. This might be ideal for your streaming setup, or you just want to keep something on screen while you're in game. Either way, I'm just really happy that Steam gave us this option, and I can't tell you how many times I'm streaming a game and people ask what software I'm using for my chat window. I'm not using any anymore. I'm just using what comes with Steam VR. Speaking of using hardware to its fullest potential, Facebook gave us a preview of Horizon's Workrooms. It's basically a VR version of a Zoom call with a few additional tools. Now, media coverage on this has been mixed to say the least. It's everything from this is the future of the workplace to Facebook has made working from home 10 times harder. Personally, I'm of the latter opinion. I understand Facebook's aim. They want to break into a lot more markets. HCC is basically covering the business section right now, but it'll be a long time before this application is anything close to practical. It doesn't matter how many virtual screens you can give me, it's just so much easier to sit down at a regular desk with a real keyboard and mouse and a real computer screen. I don't have to worry about my battery draining, my overall comfort level, and how goofy my avatar might look. As someone who's been working from home for over 2 years, the idea of having to use this technology on a daily basis is an absolute nightmare, and you can barely get me to turn my webcam on right now. Putting that aside though, there are definitely some huge future applications here. I don't doubt that technology like this will eventually be used more often, and Facebook has to start somewhere. It's just not super exciting, especially when the major focus of the Oculus Quest is gaming. But let's not harp on this and move into today's major topic. It's funny how history repeats itself. Almost 2.5 years ago, I had just started this channel, and one of my first major videos was speculation on the upcoming releases of the Valve Index and the Oculus Quest. Well, today, it looks like we're doing that all over again. Looking back on that past video, the quality might be crap, but the content is still extremely valid. I hit the nail on the head with the direction VR was headed, and I clearly stated that the Quest would be for mass user adoption, and the Valve Index would set a new standard for high quality experiences. I was also quite fearful, even back then, that VR would separate into a VR PC player base and a VR mobile player base, and we've seen that happen with the Quest 2. So let's fast forward nearly 3 years and watch this trend continue. Facebook is still pushing mass user adoption, Valve wants to push boundaries with the new Index, and Sony's still out there trying to make the best games. So based on patents, leaks, and speculation, let's go over what to expect from each company, starting with Facebook, because for me, it's the least interesting. Now that's not a dig at Facebook, because the products they produce like the Quest 2 have been great for the general consumer. It's just those products are entry level, and Facebook has told us time and time again, everything they produce for VR, they want to be accessible to the masses. So as an enthusiast, it's just harder for me to get excited for these products. So what exactly should we expect from Facebook in the near future? Well, those Quest 3 or Quest Pro rumors have been circling for quite some time, but don't expect a major hardware overhaul. Development is already split between PSVR, Quest 1, and Quest 2. And while it's clear Facebook is no longer focusing on PSVR, and support for the original Quest is starting to dwindle, creating yet another platform would only complicate development, and it would also erode consumer trust. Remember, that would be 3 new Quests in basically 3 years. Now, Facebook has also said they're going to support the Quest 2 for a long time. So if a Quest 3 or Pro is announced at the upcoming Facebook Connect in October, it will most likely only include minor overall improvements, possibly the inclusion of better materials and accessories like the Elite strap, and I could see Facebook doing something like including a better cooling solution so that they no longer have to underclock the XR2 chipset. It would still be the exact same platform for developers, but it would run a bit better. We also know that Facebook is beginning their push into AR, so it's possible this headset could have some enhanced pass-through features. Other than that, we might get an announcement on some AR glasses for sometime next year. As I previously mentioned, Facebook's primary goal is high user adoption, so if they could release a product that gets more users on their tech, Facebook will be all over it. From a software standpoint, in 2022, we will definitely hear a lot more about those larger titles that Facebook Studios has promised us. Remember, there's an Assassin's Creed and a Splinter Cell title in the works, but I'm still extremely skeptical that even a Quest 3 can deliver something similar to a high-end PC VR experience. So that's our Facebook expectations going into 2022. Now for Valve, it looks like they're once again aiming to push boundaries and create a truly next-generation VR experience. Like I said, this is 2019 all over again. Sadly though, from a price standpoint, again the Valve Index will most likely be out of reach for the general consumer. I've gone over Valve Index patents many times on this channel, and we recently got about 13 new ones. Now I do have to throw up that general disclaimer that patents do not equal products. There's a large possibility that we might never see any or all of these patents come to fruition, but it generally gives you an idea of what a company is working on, and from Valve, it looks like an absolutely amazing new headset. Previously, we've seen patents that pointed out features like the headset being standalone, including eye tracking, possibly WiGig 2, but these new patents are all about a unique lens system. This would include a pancake stack of polarized lenses that would give the headset the following benefits. Varying focal lengths, which would function much more like the human eye, move an object up to your face, and it would be much clearer as the background blurs out. There'd also be a huge reduction in glare, increased image clarity, and an increase in performance because the headset would utilize foveated rendering. There's also the possibility that eye tracking would automatically allow the headset to assess your IPD and adjust to it, or even adjust itself to your eyeglass prescription, making nearsighted or farsighted individuals not have to worry if their glasses will fit in the headset. Combine this with micro OLED screens, and we're looking at an insane increase to overall visual quality, glare reduction, brightness levels, and deep blacks. Now again, this is all speculation based on patents that have recently become available to the public. This also comes on the heels of the Steam Deck, which had a lot of people also speculating that that hardware could eventually be used in a standalone headset. Now, amazing as all of this sounds, I would definitely take it with a grain of salt, and don't expect to see any new hardware until late 2022. Now, from a software standpoint, based on public statements from Valve, we know they're working on a few additional VR titles. Now, you never know, they could have been cancelled, but I think they're being held in reserve, and maybe Valve will attempt to do something like upstage Oculus Connect and announce some new VR games around that time. One can only hope. And the last big player in the VR industry is Sony. While I recently discussed all the leaks about the PlayStation VR 2, we did just get a little bit more information. Just a super quick recap if you're not up to date on the PlayStation VR 2, which most likely won't be the name when it releases, but the headset will be an overall improvement. It does have eye tracking, there are haptics in the headset itself, it's near 4K resolution, it'll use an inside-out tracking solution, and has greatly improved controllers, which feature those amazing adaptive triggers. And it will connect to your PlayStation 5 via a single cable. Sony also wants to push VR game development much closer to standard AAA titles. No more tech demos, just high quality stuff. But here's the awesome new news. We might eventually get a wireless version. Sony's VP of Research and Development recently said that the cable is a burden to entry for some users, and that they may eventually release a wireless version. So between these three companies, we have three very distinct directions. Facebook is going for huge user adoption. They don't care how or why you use it, they just want to get an Oculus Quest on your head. Sony PlayStation is really ramping up the quality of their headset, but more important, pushing the quality of their games. And Valve is just being Valve. They like making cool stuff, and it looks like they want to push the boundaries of VR. How developers will use that technology will be up to them. So while 2021 wasn't a great year for VR, I'm expecting some huge announcements before the end of the year, and 2022 looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. Okay everybody, that was today's new VR news. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and as always, I will see you guys on next time.